Welcome to the Everyday Royalty Podcast, where our guests share how they are learning to live in the world, but not of the world, and how they're finding Christ-centered life balance as daughters of the King. Join us as we seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and learn how all these things are added to us as well. Here's your host, licensed professional clinical counselor and faith and focus coach, Carrie Kitchen.
Are you familiar with the story of Abraham and Sarah? Are you familiar with the story of Hagar, Sarah's wife? Let me paraphrase the story for you. In Genesis 16, it talks about how when Sarah and Abraham weren't expecting, when they had gone for quite a while after being told that God would give them children, and they still didn't have any children, Sarah decides she's going to take matters into her own hands. She was called Sarai at that time. But she decided she was going to take matters into her own hands, and as the custom was, she gave her servant to Abram to start a family through her so that Sarah could have kids, like a surrogate. So when Abram agreed and he conceived with Hagar, Hagar started getting unkind about the fact that she was able to conceive when Sarai wasn't. This did not work well. Sarai, in turn, got angry with Abram and blamed him for it. And he basically said, "She's your servant. Do what you like." So Sarai was unkind to Hagar, to the point that Hagar ran away, pregnant and alone. I can only imagine how terrifying that it was to not have anything at that point, to be totally alone, expecting a baby, and nowhere to go. We get down to verse 7, and it says, "The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that was beside the road to Shur, and he said, 'Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from, and where are you going?' 'I'm running away from my mistress Sarai,' she answered. Then the angel of the Lord told her, 'Go back to your mistress and submit to her.' The angel added, 'I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count.' The angel of the Lord also said, 'You are now pregnant, and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery. He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him. And he will live in hostility toward all his brothers.' She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her: 'You are the God who sees me.' For she said, 'I have now seen the one who sees me.' That is why the well was called Bir Lahai Roi, and is still there between Kadesh and Bered. So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael." So in this story, when she was alone and had nowhere to go, she met with the Lord. She saw him, and she called him El Roi, or the God who sees me. That's such a powerful thought. When she felt so incredibly alone, she realized that God really did see her and knew how miserable she was. So she was able to submit to him. Have you ever been through a time where you felt like nobody saw you? Like you didn't know where you're going, didn't know what to do about the situations you were facing. You felt unseen, unheard, and not valuable. It is truly a hopeless feeling, as I'm sure Hagar could have told you. But something changed in her when she met the God who sees her. Today, I just want to share with you a passage from a journal entry that I had made months ago. But this is for those of you who feel unseen. If you're wondering if God sees you, this message is for you. God says, "I am El Roi, the God who sees you. I see you and I love you because I am love and you are mine. You are my child and the apple of my eye. You are fearfully and wonderfully made with a purpose. I sent you forth with a word and my word does not return to me void. It will achieve the purpose I gave it. You will achieve the purpose I gave you. Partner with me. I am Emmanuel, God with you. I don't need you to do it on your own. I don't need you to do my job for me. I need you to fulfill my purpose by submitting to my will. Trust me. Be still. Know that I am God. Know that I am love. I am your creator. I am your provider. I am your king. I am your leader. I am your protector. Your job is to let me do mine. Your job is to point back to me. Your job is to let me work in you and through you. Submit to me. There is no room for offense. There is no room for unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, and strife. They are the enemy's work and will only destroy. Be still and know that I am. Is this message for you? Is this something you feel the God is stirring in your heart to make sure you know and you hear today? He sees you. He knows exactly what you're going through, and He cares. What you're going through will not be wasted. When you submit to Him, when you take it back to Him in trust and faith that He's going to make it right, and He's going to build you up through it. He has given you a purpose. Partner with Him and you will see it achieved.
Thank you once again for listening to the Everyday Royalty Podcast. If you haven't already, I encourage you to download my free PDF prayer guide on finding spiritual breakthrough. You can find that by going to breakthrough.everydaycredible.net. Always remember who and whose you are, and have a blessed day.